Artificial intelligence is being integrated into almost every job market. Our Danielle Sapoznic is sitting down with a freelance writer for Encyclopedia Britannica to discuss the impacts AI has on the journalism job market. Danielle?
Yes, thank you, Simone and Samantha. Joining me today is Britannica's multifaceted freelance writer, Carl Montevirgin. Carl, welcome to the show. We're happy to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
So, I wanted to start off by asking you if you use AI tools, and if so, do you think that they help you with your writing process?
Yes, depending on the client, because I have many, I use it in different ways. I look at AI as kind of a genius assistant. I always have to double check the work when I ask it to do research tasks. But it definitely helps speed things up. It makes things relatively more efficient, but you also have to be careful and double check, sometimes triple check the work to make sure it's not quote unquote hallucinating, because it sometimes does that.
Yeah. So from using AI, do you think that's helped you gain or lose job opportunities?
That's a good question. I think it can help someone definitely get into the market. Fortunately, I've been doing this for many years, so I have a few solid anchor clients. I'm not, in other words, I'm not looking for new clients. However, I've had a few smaller clients who have let go their content writers, for instance, who have reduced, my work hours because they're generating most of their content using a chat bot, which I don't really recommend. Yeah. But if the question is whether extending your question, whether journalists, writers, content writers will lose jobs, yes. The answer is yes.
Yes. Okay. I want to go more into them losing jobs a little bit later on. I wanted to start by switching gears a little bit into journalism. How do you think AI is going to change the journalism as a whole?
Well, it'll speed things up in terms of analyzing information, gathering information. I had a few assistants who I'd asked to research this area or research this topic, and it would take them time to compile, to read, to analyze, to put it together in a manner that that I can use. AI will do that in a matter of seconds. So it'll speed things up, potentially make the process more efficient, and really that's the advantage of AI in the field of journalism, content writing, anything related to gathering and writing about topics, about information.
Yeah, so do you think that with journalism, how we have all the standards of fact checking and maintaining, like, being ethical, do you think AI will ever be able to have those standards, like, will be able to fulfill those standards on their own?
On their own, I'm really not sure. AI has, the difference between, say, ChatGPT 3 and ChatGPT 5 Pro in just a matter of years has gone beyond what most people have expected. As far as ethical standards, as far as fact-checking, AI is good at finding lots of facts, but I think that's where you need the human touch, or rather human supervision, to make sure that those things are correct and verifiable, despite what a chatbot will say.
And do you think AI will ever be able to give like a human perspective, or gives perspectives as well as humans can?
Yes and no. It depends on who's using the chatbot. For instance, if you're a person who works in, say, multiple domains, who asks complex, intelligent, nuanced questions, who has a very critical view or a critical sense of inquiry, AI will, or your chatbot, depending on what chatbot you use, will pick up on those nuances. However, somebody who doesn't, it will not. That's just my experience. I can't really give you any evidence of that. So in other words, two people may be using, say, the same chatbot, but one person's an out-of-the-box thinker, the other person's not. Chances are the person who is an out-of-the-box thinker will generate, the chatbot will generate some interesting content, whereas the person who's not, it'll generate standard content. So whether it provides a human perspective or not, it really depends on the user. It can simulate it and sometimes get pretty close to it. But beyond that, I'm really not sure.
Yeah. So jumping into the job security. So when you're thinking about maybe 10 or 5 to 10 years from now, do you think you or other journalists are going to go through losing their jobs?
Oh, it's happening now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's already happening. And it depends on the company that's implementing an AI system. Some companies don't pay much attention to the type of content they're generating, and they don't realize that, for instance, that the content they're generating is very generic. If they can't tell, then then chances are they're going to lay off a bunch of their, say, journalists or content writers. I'm hoping that in media journalism, that's not going to be the case, but it's certainly something that I've seen in the content field in general across different industries and sectors.
Do you know, for our last question, do you know how AI is beneficial for the newsroom?
It's like a very brilliant assistant who can gather, who can point the direction to certain topics depending on what you're going after. It can gather facts, it can analyze things, it can do things that many humans can't. However,
we are out of time, but thank you, Carl, for joining us today to talk about AI impacts on journalism. We really appreciate your insight on the topic, and back to you guys in the studio.